Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Under Construction. This is episode number 107, and I am your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. And with me this week, I have some guests.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Milky.
Milky is the only person who said his name, so he gets points.
I thought
10
that
points.
the goal was not to get it.
Well,
yes, 10 points.
the goal is to make sure that all the names are to make sure that the last person says "and," so it's person, and person. Also, I may have turned the heat up a little bit too much in the house because now I'm in this room with the computer and I am a little warm.
A little sweaty.
But the issue is if I turn the heat down, if I go outside and turn the heat down, and then I come back in here and be warm with my computer, everyone else is gonna be cold. So
yeah,
I'll just live with this for now, knowing that the thermostat is outside of the hallway. So anyway, like I was saying before the show started, my main goal today is to work on Lionhead. We have a couple of comments. One is actually pretty good. One I'm excited about. The other one is, well, I'm also excited about, but it's also very informative. Although I didn't get the chance to go on the DLS beforehand and download anything new. Instead, I was giving TBA and, to an extent, Dean and Milky as well, a little tour of what's been going on in Tolbrand in the last couple of whatevers. And also dealing with the game crashing on me. So hopefully it doesn't keep doing that.
Get 19, bro.
I have 19, bro.
Whoa.
Speaking of 19, bro, I really was hoping that it would go on sale this because I really am eager to get in there and play around with this.
Yeah, I know it's the kind of thing where I really want to play with it. Sorry.
No.
I really do want to play with it, but I don't want to leave Tolbrand the way it is in this version of the game. My whole dilemma is based around the fact that if I were to say, okay, I'm going to move to 2019 now, this version would forever be unfinished and unreleased in Trains a New Era. And that's unacceptable.
What you could do is finish a town and then move on to 19.
Well, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm going to be finishing this section. So this section is, I feel like I say this every episode. So
also,
audience members, I apologize, but this section is what I have left to do in a nutshell is finish the scenery in all the bits that are gray aside from right here and right here and right here. And
all things considered, that's
pretty much it. I mean, I've already come quite a ways. I started over here. I started at this river. Oh no, sorry. I started at that river.
You've come quite the distance.
Yeah.
You know, you've really come about half the distance between these two.
I have, and things have started to pick up because I spent a lot of time. I've already done most of the grunt work in Mason Valley, doing the yards and houses. Same thing with Mason's Landing. For the most part, what I have left to do is grass and trees and grass and trees and grass and trees, aside from Doe Cliff, which I'm not going to touch yet. Doe Cliff is going to be the one gray spot that seems out of place when I'm done with this section.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is, I don't really want to get into it. It's another town I don't feel like doing. And B, because it has such strong ties to whatever's going to be off-map this way, I don't want to start working on it, and then it's going to lock me into whatever I'm going to be doing up here. As a side note, I'll talk about Doe Cliff for a minute. As a side note, one of the things I would like to do for Doe Cliff is to have... Oh, there's the Alcos again. We have the trolley that goes north to south. Part of me also... Or north to south, top to bottom. Part of me also wanted to have, like, a funicular, because I thought that would be kind of entertaining.
What is that?
Like a like a cable car sort of thing, but not like the
Oh.
suspended one, and not quite like a San Francisco
Fran.
cable car either.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing where you're in a cart on the end of a long tether, and it lowers you down the side of the mountain on rails.
Oh.
If I showed you one, you'd
So-
probably recognize
Oh,
it.
kind of like one of those things that's in mine shafts that they would ride
Yeah,
down.
yeah. It's very similar.
Or look out.
Can you imagine if the cable snapped? You just
Going down
Yeah.
an hour.
The reason I'm sort of inspired to do this is because I've been on what was a commercial funicular in Pittsburgh. There are 2 of them that are left out of the 20 or so that used to go up the hillsides for the coal miners to get
Whoa.
and other people to get from downtown to up the sides of the many hills that surround Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be neat for this because you have this. It's going to be a pretty tight and heavily industrialized town that has a bunch of docks and everything. It's probably going to have a dock on this side too, and a couple of things over here. But also the main line for the VMR is passing straight through, and there's going to be a VMR station for Doe Cliff up here. So these guys are going to carry on in this direction. But the idea is if you're coming down the VMR and you want to go to Gilson City, an option is to get off at the Doe Cliff station, take the trolley down to the main line, and then take the Gilson Eastern up the coast. I just want to facilitate and sort of show off what that transfer would be.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, we have this here. Oh yeah, this is an area that needs to get worked on as well, but this is not really my priority right now. This is going to be another little farm. It'll have 1 carload going there. This is going to be part of the first, probably one of the first, if not the first, actual session that I make for Tolbrand, which is the Doe Cliff turn. And it's going to be you start down in staging, and you have to go up the VMR, and then switch out this box car, this car which would be full of lumber when you bring it in for the mine, and these hoppers, and also that covered hopper over there at the farm. And that's it. And then you just go back down the hill. I mean, I think it would be interesting enough because it's going to be the kind of thing where you're coming up 15 miles or so of single-track mainline, having to deal with the other trains that you encounter along the way.
Yeah.
So having to duck into the siding for the morning passenger trains and stuff like that, and then having to switch these guys out. Meanwhile, there is no shunting lead for the coal mine or anything. This is the main line.
Oh, heck no. That's a dispatcher's worst nightmare.
I know. So,
Do you know how often I have to do that in San Bernardino?
that's the thing. You're going to be, from the moment you show up on scene to switch these industries out, you're going to be on the clock. It's going to be, okay, you're
You
stuffed
have
up over
minutes
here.
for your moves.
Yeah, you're stuffed up over here. The train just went by. Get out, go here, grab a cut of cars, and then maybe pull into here and get out of the way.
Yeah.
Make sure that
No.
make sure that you
It
have your
really-
moves planned ahead of time because you won't have that long to do much
You
of
don't-
anything.
You have minutes. As someone, San Bernardino is a very active part of the world in Run 8,
Hmm
and I mean, even in everyday life. And
Nothing going on in San Bernardino. It sucks. Don't go there. It's boring.
And there's some where I'm working the intermodal yard, and I have to wait for like 2 or 3 trains to be able to move the string of cars.
Hmm Oh yeah, definitely
It's-
would be frustrating. I definitely would be.
When I get on there and see Cajon empty, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where certainly if you're running that, it looks like it's going to be the simple, easy job. You go up, you switch some things, you come back, and then you're halfway through it, and you realize that, oh god,
you got to deal with traffic.
When am I going to get the opportunity to do my next move?
There's times in Run 8 I'm sitting there. I'll go make a cup of coffee while I'm waiting for it to clear up.
Yeah, that is what you do as a railroader. You come on, and I mean, in real life, if you're lucky enough to be like posted up at the crossing next to the Dunkin' Donuts, you just get out, go grab something,
get back on the train.
Yep.
Oh, lights green.
I had some super enthusiastic conductors at Wickford Junction the other day. I was there handing out commuter rail passenger surveys.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wickford Junction is the end of the line, so the trains tend to sit there for about 30 minutes just to pad the schedule for one, but also so that they have a good opportunity, because it's the Amtrak main line, you need to have a good spot to get back out and continue on with what you were doing. Also, it doesn't help that you leave going northbound, and from the perspective of northbound, it's on the left side. So you've got to cross over, you've got to get onto the main line and then immediately cross over, and then up the line a few miles, you have to cross back over, and then go onto the other siding, which is also on the left side. So, both of the sidings are off of the southbound main for these stations, and I'm sure that drives the dispatcher nuts. But I was there with these guys, and the conductors come off the train, and they're a riot. They're just like busting each other's chops, making jokes, whatever, and then one of them goes, "Alright, I'll be right back," and he goes, and he disappears into the stairwell, comes back up with a friggin' thing out of the vending machine, which is apparently called a buddy bar, and he just starts ranting and raving about how good buddy bars are, and how he would buy out the whole vending machine, and I'm sitting there with my coworkers, like, waiting for anybody to show up to give a survey to, and we're just, like, looking at each other, like, oh my god. Can you freaking believe what we're witnessing?
Did he have, like, a Boston accent, so he was like,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
so good, and
these buddy bars.
These buddy bars.
Yeah, he did. The group of them had fairly strong accents, and
I gotta go over there. I'd probably just have a head.
Well, see, oh my god, Weibold had a very Weibold. We went down to Kingston Station, which is down in South County, and it's an Amtrak stop, and even though the regional stop there, the Acellas don't. And so,
yeah, I was gonna say,
it's a good spot to catch an Acela come flying through if you're lucky. We didn't get to see one come through fairly quickly, and I've found spots since then that are more reliable for that.
Stone on it. Isn't Firestone a little modern?
No.
Oh, it's been around for quite some.
Firestone is one of the reasons that LA streetcars went out of business. Not in GM.
Ooh. Spicy memes.
I just want to verify check this. When was Firestone?
Time to get the fact checkers in here. I'm gonna check if this garage is something I can use.
I think you're okay. It was founded August 3rd, 1900.
Yeah.
1900. Yeah, I think I'm okay.
1900.
I think you're good. You got like 50.
Yeah.
You know what the world's largest maker of tires is by numbers?
Huh.
China.
Not by like volume of tires, but just
But
like
by
sheer number of tires.
Okay.
Lego.
Lego.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they have so many Lego tires.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Of all
They're
shapes and sizes, and
Yeah.
and there's millions of sets. I mean,
they make by
Yeah.
far the most tires year to year. Not
that's funny.
the most in terms of weight, but the most.
I forgot. I'm
or
sorry.
in terms of size, or
Yeah.
Is Lego Swedish or Finnish?
Lego
Uh,
is
I think it's
Dutch.
Swede.
Dutch.
I
Oh,
think it's Dutch.
Gonna check
was-
this too.
Yeah. I know, unfortunately, it's not Swedish, or else I would be touting the hell out of that.
I was gonna say that if Lego was Swedish, then you can get them to make you some new tires.
Denmark, Danish. They're
Oh, they're Danish. Okay, sorry. I
Ah.
confused Danish and Dutch, is what I did there. Hey, this looks good for a flag stop.
yeah.
Except,
Just make a giant flag.
I mean, really, we wouldn't have the lumber and stuff here. So I'm gonna ditch that. Actually, where's the Carson and Colorado depot?
Uh,
I'll-
the search card.
I don't think I can use that. How about this? Hold on, where'd this
Oh
go?
wait, never mind. Depot. Tway.
Teapot.
Where did... I just saw something that I was like, hey, Dean, how about this?
So what?
I can't remember. I lost it. I had it. Oh, Ford Falcon.
You, Ford's gross, man.
With a European license plate on it.
Yeah, I saw that.
What the heck?
My little
Fire
teeth.
truck.
Oh, that's dope. Where'd I get these?
That's
I don't know. Are we DLS?
I don't
Oh,
think
you
so.
gotta put one of these in someone's dress.
I mean, if they're not,
Hold on.
They were white on the Qid thing.
Everything's white. The Qt thing's broken.
Oh,
the cute thing works in a 19.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
it used to work in Tane.
By the way, I totally could use these.
Nice.
I saw that.
What?
Oh, you have to put one of them in someone.
Yeah.
Well, I have
That
to
one,
have...
that
I need
works.
the foreman's house up here. Is
Give
what
it
I
to
need.
the foreman.
So I need...
Oh, hey, another one.
All those.
I
We're
need a
doing
nice
under
house.
construction.
Douglas County Courthouse.
Oh boy.
Sure, someone lives in there. Like the rich guy lives in there.
I mean, I could
Couldn't you
substitute.
do
It would make a good Newport mansion, is what it would.
It
Make.
would make a really good mansion.
Who's coughing now?
It's a Joyce.
Oh, Julius, we're doing under construction.
Also,
Doug.
did you say this is the 107th episode?
Yes.
Holy crap!
This looks
107
neat. I'll put this somewhere if I can use it.
That is a lot of episodes. You're catching up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. When I'm trying to load stuff,
Yeah.
the call sort of goes crazy. I'll say that much.
Oh,
This guy is going to be friggin' rich, so he also has a doghouse. Oh no, it's going to be off-center.
no, give him a boat.
Give him a boat.
Just.
I was about to say for
just
what, then I realized
lives
there's a
on,
giant
like-
lake right there.
Yeah,
Give
he
me,
lives on like the boat.
Yeah. A house.
Yeah, house.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, a houseboat from the top of the hill.
Fine.
I don't know. I know someone that lives on the house. Yeah.
I
Are they
would never
weird?
live on that.
No.
You're lying.
I'd
They
live on a
definitely are. 'cause
house.
they
Like
live-
a-
Although they retired from G&W, so that might be weird.
That is weird. Does he still have his soul? That'd be the weird
The
part.
mansion should
Yeah.
have, that house needs a bigger lot.
I mean, this guy. I'm gonna give him this lot here. Hold on. Let me demonstrate. Yeah.
Ah. Yes.
Were chain link fences a thing in the 50s? I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro, there's
Yeah,
this
they
asset right here called
absolutely
Chain Link Fence 1942.
Okay, see. They seem really modern.
They seem really modern, but let's face it, chain link fences aren't exactly alien technology.
I mean, no, they're not. It's just they seem a bit modern.
Yeah, I mean they're more prevalent now than or in like
Because everybody thinks back, 1950s, picket fences,
Yeah,
white
wooden picket
fences.
fences. But guess what?
Yeah.
The military compound isn't going to have a white picket fence.
Are you sure?
You sure they don't? What if they paint little sunflowers on it? That'd be cute.
Yeah.
What is the
And
60s?
totally-
I
not a
mean,
military
I'm
base.
really trying to
They
avoid a
can't
joke about little rising sunflowers for the Japanese internment camps. But
Terrible.
I know, that's really bad.
And
So,
demonetized.
Yeah.
On
All
a
right, I'll
different
see you guys in hell.
No.
So, you guys, on a different note, you guys haven't, I said I was going to be in Horseman yesterday, and then I was in there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I told Graham about that to join, and then I didn't tell him why I wanted him to join stuff.
Great under construction topic.
Well, hold on, this is a funny story. So,
Ha!
I sent him a video because I've been trying to get him to come to the University of Utah for no real good reason, and I was like, if you come, you can see cool trains, and he was like, that's not why I'm going. I was like, just added benefits, man. And he was like, he asked me then, why do you want me to join? And I said, I'll tell you if you visit the U of U. And he says, probably not. And I says, I probably won't tell you. And he's like, will you change my life? And I said, it could. And then I said, okay, I'll ask my mom if we can go visit, but no promise I'll actually go. Yeah, but you know why I was in the VC?
Oh boy.
It was just because I wanted to talk to him. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So when he finds that out, he's probably gonna be mad, but
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, I
you
thought that was,
Very
that was
cool,
funny in my
Joe.
head. It was
Yeah.
funnier in my head.
I mean,
okay?
at least this isn't like, something that's gonna go online, and then
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Well, you will when he's not your friend anymore.
I don't want Graham to be my friend anymore.
You
Alright.
don't have a friend, and
All right, hold on. I have a really, really dumb idea. You guys are gonna love this.
You should
Oh,
put,
boy.
What if you put an old engine on the abandoned turntable?
Hold on.
Or like a rusted tender.
This is just a proof of concept. I know it's terrible and the stalls are not the same size, but just follow my lead here. You'll understand what
I
I'm
see
getting.
where you're going with the...
I'm gonna
I know that feeling.
I'm gonna sink them
I'm
into the ground.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna sink them into the ground, and it's gonna look like those foundations you always see from Google Earth.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean like the one in Roseville?
Yeah, like the one in Roseville.
Yep. I would say the one here, but there's job trucks that could go over it, so I don't think the foundation is visible anymore.
Is it
I
buried?
wonder if there's like a concrete building, like a concrete slab in the building menu that you could just kind of lay down.
That's what I was thinking, and I was just like, what isn't worth my time? Trying to find that.
Yeah.
Hi, Kavan.
Hello. Hello, Kavan. We're doing under construction. We're doing a public under construction.
Hey.
Interesting.
For the
Okay,
first,
then
probably the last time, because I realized...
about
Never mind. Is it just me, or is Kavan, breaking up?
Yeah, breaking up.
my phone data is trash.
Ooh.
Hey, you've got a spline that's bending there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to look at, does it look even slightly legit? And it could definitely look better, but it could also definitely look worse. So right now, I need something... Well, you know what I need? I need a roundhouse. I need a roundhouse to emulate. Round hose.
Hose Matt.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Hey, can somebody give me an example of a high-risk investment?
Right now, Union Pacific.
Yeah.
CSI.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Kavan
Yeah.
knows things.
Yes, I do.
Also, wait a minute. We're not helping you do your homework.
Yeah.
No, it's just I'm writing a paper.
Okay.
And that's somehow not homework?
Yeah.
Holy heck, that's a roundhouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a beefy roundhouse. He's not lacking.
Okay, that's bigger than I needed. Can I get like a smaller one? Jesus Christ. Why are the stalls so freaking far away?
Do you have like the trauma roundhouse or something?
Do I? That's actually a good one. I might have the Chama Roundhouse.
Well,
I
he does-
totally have the Chama Roundhouse.
Okay.
That's much. Ah!
That wasn't quite exactly what I thought it would be.
Why does it have a giant cancer cell?
For big chungus thing. Oh no, I connected it to a piece of track.
Oh
Okay.
Snap.
Oof.
no. I don't feel so good, miss.
Oh,
Break.
snap.
Okay.
Detach that. God damn it.
Just Control Z.
We'll see.
Alright, never mind.
Unify
Goodbye.
and
Uh-oh.
driver comes out. That's gonna make your life so.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be really cool for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I'm very excited for that. I have.
You can easily fix things while the simulation is running.
Yep. Okay. You know what? I'm not. I'm
And
not
apparently
sure.
the next update for Dero Valley is supposed to basically rework the entire game.
I saw that with the whole explosions and everything.
Yeah,
Actual
I don't know what they're doing, dude.
They're having fun, and that's the only thing you can really ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
At
be
least
cool.
your devs are excited about it, you know?
Yeah, I hope they make it run better because that's what it needs. It needs to be optimized.
If every dev was as excited about their game as the Factorio devs are about their game, so much would get done.
I haven't heard any updates from Factorio in a while.
Well, they're just pounding out bugs. That's what they do.
Literally and figuratively because
Yeah.
the aliens just...
Hey, Lamau.
Also, supposedly we should have a chain of 18
A Tane
Oh.
update.
what would this Tane update include?
Oh,
Hey, Graham.
no.
Hey everybody, what is up?
Wow, Graham
Under
sounds
construction.
really uncharacteristically excited. That's weird. Anyway, we're doing Under Construction. Welcome to Under Construction.
Oh wait, so
Yep.
like,
You know,
So- I'm trying
You
to
know-
build
the
a roundhouse.
so I need to basically watch what I say.
I mean,
Yes.
you could also
Yes.
not watch what you say and then get thrown in Gulag.
KFC, my. Yeah.
I'm already demonetized. I already made that joke, so we're
Yeah.
already gone. And also,
Wait,
that's
you got-
probably some variation of that is probably going to be the name of the episode, like Rising Sunflowers or something.
You got demonetized?
I mean, probably.
Bobby.
I made a joke about the U.S. World War II Japanese internment camps, so honestly, if I get demonetized, I deserve it.
Have you ever gotten demonetized?
Not from like something I've said. I mean, we've had bits of the Horsemen that it's been like, oh, we used some music that we shouldn't have.
How long have you been?
It's a good question.
We don't know.
Yeah, actually, I think it's time to wrap it up. Bye, Graham. Bye, everybody. No, I'm kidding. It's been about half an hour.
But
Okay, so I am gonna make these 4 stalls, and then I'm gonna sink this into the ground. And
I thought
hopefully...
You
What?
I
nothing.
thought we might have all been talking about the trip.
No. In the recording group, Graham?
Oh no, I'm really dumb.
Yeah, we know.
It's okay.
Okay, so that's 4 stalls.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
I
We know.
feel like I should actually put down a second one or rotate this just to do a couple more stalls.
Yeah.
Stop squeaking, you stupid puppies. Just kidding.
Oh my god. Listen, if you do not want your puppies, I will take your puppies.
I'm aware.
Anyway, this is a show about Tolbred, so...
Hi, Tolbren.
2712.
This whole area, I really hope it does turn out. It's a nice small area, which means I can put a good amount of effort into it. You know, you get burned out with these larger towns and stuff. The amount of care that I gave to a block of houses in Mason Valley dropped off dramatically. During
Where exactly are we?
We are in the town of Lionhead, which is up on the VMR. So I will zoom out in just a second to show you.
Oh
what
wait,
it's at.
I was gonna say narrow gauge, right?
No, narrow gauge is over there. So-
The stream's frozen.
Oh well. We are by the big red dot.
I see.
Up in
Oh.
the.
Okay. I know what we're doing now.
So I need to find the right height that doesn't look terribly appalling. That looks like these are just concrete bits in the ground and not walls that I've just happened to sink slightly.
Alice just wants to build a big wall, everybody, obviously.
I do. I want to build a wall and keep the diesels out.
Keep the diesels out.
Andy, 1953.
Yep.
And make Union Pacific pay for it.
Yeah.
Make it huge.
The Union Pacific is not paying for anything right now.
No.
Except
Especially
for,
when employed.
except for Ed Dickens to play with his toys.
Yeah.
You know, they say as you get older, your toys just get more expensive.
I mean, I think Ed Dickens wins.
Yeah.
I can't think
Yeah,
of
he
much
does.
more
He's
expensive.
not paying for it.
Yeah, but
He's
it's still
getting
more
paid for it,
expensive.
so
It's still more expensive.
Yeah.
I mean that's probably the most expensive you'll get.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he wins because what would be more expensive?
1309
Unless
cries
you're-
in the background.
Unless your toy is the spruce goose. Speaking of geese,
No.
Or your toys are Q2s,
12
Well,
and you build one from scratch.
Even if your toys build
Anyway.
one from scratch.
All right, that looks not half bad.
Yeah. Actually, it's pretty good.
I'm really kind of happy with how that looks. Let's see if I can
Yeah,
use
that
like a
looks
tarmac
pretty cool.
texture to sort of make it a little bit more convincing. That doesn't look convincing.
It needs to be kind of like concrete.
Yeah, it needs to be concrete, but it also needs to be real dirty.
Just put some. Ooh, put like a mossy rock texture.
Maybe if I can find one that works and doesn't tile poorly. Here's like
I like that.
here's like a grassy dirt texture that doesn't look good at all. What about this?
That's what they need to fix
No.
in the next iteration of trains is just no more grid.
Turn the scale all the way down on it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, no grid. It should just be.
Yeah, and they should remove blocks from Minecraft.
Well,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't. That's the one thing that I can agree on. I don't like how the texture works off the grid.
Yeah, but no matter what,
I mean,
it's
it
going
works
to.
fine.
But this is a computer. No matter what, it's going to work off of a grid. The grid is just going to get smaller. If you're removing the grid, you're really just making the grid really small.
Do you still work on the 5-meter grid?
I work on the 5-meter grid most of the time, aside from when I'm very far from the tracks.
All these textures are junk.
Most
See, my only problem with the grid is going at a diagonal. It just ruins it.
Most textures are junk. Most stuff is junk. It takes a lot of digging to find something that's really worth using.
That turntable is
PBR.
good, though.
All PBR textures are great. Just
Yeah, but sometimes they're just not what you need. How does that look?
Ain't that is suggesting.
Also, what if you just made it the same texture as the turntable pit?
Yeah, that's like my normal dirt texture. I need to go and find that. Actually, you know what? This is pretty good.
Yeah,
Eld.
that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That is good.
I like that.
We all like that.
You like
the road
that?
just.
Everyone like.
Everyone likes that.
Yeah.
Joey, stop mocking me, or I'll start bullying you.
The
Dude.
road just drives.
Also
over
mocking
the
you if you go to
foundation.
if you.
I'm not gonna tour the UAU.
I wouldn't
Ooh.
either, Graham.
It's okay, neither would I.
Drop out of college.wmp.
Peer pressure me. Peer pressure me to go to the
Drop out.
UAU.
This is a neat texture. How come I've never found
You need
this
to
before?
put.
Hopefully I can use this. FFR Grass and Mud 1. Hold on.
I thought that I'd used that on the horse.
FFR, all the FFR stuff is... Ooh, this is payware. Oh, no, it's not. This particular one isn't, but a lot of FFR stuff is.
What is FFR?
No idea.
Hmm.
Good question.
Ford Foamers, where?
There's no description, so
Yeah.
I have no idea.
For foam,
This
foamers
is
were real.
Eld 23, which is installed from DLS. Okay. Yeah, so this is neat. This is a really nice, sort of, really dirty grass. This is the kind of grass you would expect to see around a rail yard, where grass is barely growing. I still didn't find a foreman's house, but that's okay right now.
Give him a mansion.
Well, he's gonna have a pretty nice house. We've got plenty of healthy American income inequality here. Or wealth inequality, I guess is the word I'm looking for right now. Let's go somewhere else to get this dirt. Maybe over here by the car barn. No, that's the 1,000mm ground. That's not what I
Oh well,
want.
I just.
This is what I want. Can I hear typing?
That's a Jollies.
Because I'm writing a
Stop
paper.
typing.
Oh, yeah, I'm like,
That was my dog.
No, don't mute your
They're
mic.
fucking
Just
each
stop
other.
typing. Never type a thing again.
My dogs are fighting each other. Stop.
Stop.
Jillies, don't make me do what I'm going to do.
what are you gonna do? Put me in the gulag?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
I will
I'll
do
shut up.
gulag
Recording
paperwork in the middle of
something
under
here.
construction. Don't try me.
783. That's close enough.
It's over all the time.
783 words.
Yeah, I have to write for AP seminar. I have a 1,200 word essay that's due next week, and I have 700 words. But he wanted a started rough draft this by tonight, and I got to 700, and I'm like, because he's gonna read it. And I was like,
You know, I never had a word limit on my.
I'm not sure I ever did a word count either. I never remember worrying about it.
I certainly never cared.
This is the part of the show where I take another jab at Flegel for writing lengthy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can write lengthy things. I just choose not to.
Yeah, but he
You-
doesn't choose.
He just does it.
He
by-
just writes. It's incredible.
Yeah.
He just writes.
He right.
He's like, I came up with an episode for the Horsemen. I'd like you to look it over. And I open the document. It's like
And then
30
it's a movie.
it's 30-something pages. And I'm like, the quota for the Horsemen episodes is 20, right? And I'm like, he's like, yeah, I just, And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna get in here and cut some stuff out. And I feel bad about it because
Ellis, you should feel terrible. How dare you?
I
cut
do
stuff out?
feel terrible. And usually I make a second copy of the thing so that we have a copy of the original.
Yeah.
So that I make sure that nothing is really lost.
I got a letter from NAU. That's in Flagstaff.
No.
I've gotten like
No.
20 letters from.
I've got a lot.
Yeah.
I need to give a sense of latent depression in this town
What?
because
Just go to Detroit.
it's a coal mining town. Well, yeah, but this looks nothing like Detroit.
Well, just give him.
Trust
bad
me, I'm a Lions.
Just look
Give him
at some.
Give him bad city water, then you got Flint.
Yeah.
I owe my soul to the company store.
Just look at some town in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I've been there. Chris lives there.
Sorry.
Do you know what sucks?
What?
What's
If you search Detroit Lions D, the second result is dumpster fire.
Yeah, and
Okay.
What do you mean?
still
and?
not as bad as the
I mean
Bengals
that's
this
pretty
year.
expected. I'm gonna be, Listen, for like 4 weeks there, you guys were undefeated.
Ellis, the puppies are.
And we should be 4-0.
They're listening. If you want to say hi.
Who's listening?
Hi, puppies. I'm
My
going to come
puppy.
rescue you from Graham.
What a foamer.
How's that? How is that foamy?
You're a
How is that foamy?
foamer.
I'm a puppy foamer.
Well, I mean,
Wait, would I be like a dog foamer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Detroit Lions breakaway lanyard. Yes, please.
This has spun out of control incredibly quickly.
Yeah. All right. Let's turn a tighter focus on the construction. 'Cause that's what we're here to do. If you're not going to focus on that, don't be in here.
Okay.
Okay.
I was expecting people to leave.
I expected like a mass exodus, but I'm okay that it isn't, because that means people don't feel like super intimidated by the idea that you're on a show, which is good because most of us do the podcast.
yeah.
Are you gonna make? Did you do the foreman's house yet?
No, I haven't found a good asset for that. I'm just trying to. So I have this texture which now I've stumbled upon and I've immediately fallen in love with. So I am gonna use the hell out of it in this area because it really fits the look. It's a darker texture, but it's still grassy.
Dude, there was a house that I had on the. Do you remember the Hatterack line? The one that I watched correct.
I vaguely
thing?
remember. I mean, I remember the name of it. I don't remember anything about it.
I had this house on there that would be perfect for the foreman's house. But
Well,
I can't remember the name.
if you remember what it is, I'm gonna avoid using other FFR things because I don't want to use anything that's payware, even if it's from the DLS.
I love how there's just a Greyhound bus on like a dirt road.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I get the chance or time to, there's a bunch of nice textures that are on the DLS.
Okay.
You could
I mean,
probably
write them in a comment or something, and I'll notice and download them. Hopefully.
Okay.
Send it in a Minecraft hardcore suggestion.
Don't
Yeah.
notice him, senpai.
That is too pebbly.
Also, I do in fact realize what I've done.
I don't know what you've done.
The villager sounds thing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know.
Dean,
well,
I'm warning you that what's going to happen is I'm going to start the episode. I'm going to play one episode normally, and at the end of the episode, I'm going to jump off a cliff to my death so that I don't have to continue playing with the Villager Sounds resource pack.
Oh my God.
The villager sounds.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It makes all of the sounds just villagers saying things. Like if you're walking on grass, it goes grass, 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 grass.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
No,
Yes.
I'm not kidding.
Alice, you should totally play with that.
You should.
That's
yeah,
what was
that's why I put the
suggested.
suggestion in.
We should have a place where we can
Justin?
upvote suggestions.
No.
Speaking of that,
Isn't-
oh, Ellis, have you
Uh-huh.
gotten the JR Steam era stuff?
I don't know. Have I?
Okay, I don't know. It's on the DLS,
If you're enjoying
So, like-
our freeware,
so you can use all of it.
I realize that I can use all of it now, and I will need to start using more of it. I did, in fact, these buildings are JR, as you can probably tell just by looking at them.
Yeah. I saw earlier. I mean, it's JR generic house. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're enjoying
They're
our
really nice.
freeware,
they are.
they're
check
nice little
our
cottages.
payware.
These Guestines, they remind me of the Tamaros Vale and Anaconda, because I use them all over the place.
Oh no.
Oh, this is a good
Uh-oh.
one. I like this.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that one as much as actually, the TV.
I remember it a lot. I like going across the mountain.
TV and ARR. I mean, the narrow gauge stuff I did for the TV and ARR was really not that bad. I've definitely done worse. The standard gauge stuff, oh boy.
But what I remember,
Yeah, that's
R.I.P.
old
Geiger.
school.
I remember Geiger more than I remember the TV and ARR though.
That's because Geiger was actually entertaining.
I remember watching it. You just had like flying tracks.
Yeah, I had a lot of areas where I really hadn't done the track yet. I didn't know about the raise ground to track tool for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so
The best part about the Geiger Mountain was like the straight up grade.
There was like a 20% grade in there. I mean, I make fun of Milky for his grades,
I remember that shit
but
too.
that one was not good.
Especially for the ones that got fit.
I mean, Milky, I did like a route review on yours on one of your routes and it had like a 15% grade in it. I remember like doubling the hill with a...
Yeah, that became a 8%
Yeah,
later.
that's a little bit more manageable.
You until now you can make it up. You until 51 can make it up. This. On the...
Yeah, you went to 50.
Yeah.
But what kind of engine or the engine file? Because it's probably 100,000 track divisions. Something crazy.
I mean that engine is tough. It's not invulnerable.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good engine in trains. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
I still was able to get up that hill with what I was running. I can't remember what I was running. I can't remember if it was like 491 or if it was like a K36 or something.
I think it was around the point.
But I managed to get up the hill. And then I was like, why am I doing this? I should be looking around the rest of the map instead of trying to get up this obnoxious hill with this train of cars.
Yeah.
This is, in a way, this is more progress than I'd expected to get out of this today. Which, I mean, it doesn't look like much, but...
It's
I think it looks...
It does look nice.
Yeah.
I need some sort of gravel for over here.
It's like
This
a little
freight house.
mining town, and it's adorable.
We have the freight house and the general store. Which... I explained during the course of the last episode, I think, how the goods work on Tolbrand.
Now you're talking about like the asset general goods, or like
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. And I'll do the quick...
general goods is just too general.
That's the thing, right? I'll do the quick version of it now. But absolutely, general goods is too general. So what do you do on a map where you're dealing with a lot of goods? Because you don't have a specific good for everything, and frankly, it doesn't make sense to have carload freight for every kind of good.
What I would do is I would take a whole bunch of different commodities from all around, take it to one place, have it then turn all that stuff into general goods.
I think you're absolutely on the right track, and I'll show you what I did. So, this right here is a boxcar filled with general goods.
Now, that could be... Yeah, that's like food and supplies for the town
Yeah,
right there.
it could be whatever you need. It's whatever is going into the general store. So, general goods are absolutely appropriate here. But lots of industries produce general goods. The pulp mill produces general goods. This
it
company.
does. Like the sawmill produces, the lumber
Exactly.
mill produces
So-
general goods.
If I were to just say, if I were to basically do what you're saying, although yours is a little bit more involved, but if I were to say, okay, I'm not going to necessarily define general goods individually, but I'll run it operationally where trains will pick up general goods, take them to a facility, and then send them out again as a, pretend we mixed them now, so we don't know what's in there. But instead, I decided that I could do one better than that, and I decided that all of the industries on the map that accept general goods will accept only this kind of general goods. Because all of the industries and default trains that produce general goods produce only
Produce the
this
other
kind.
general goods.
So, all of these goods get rounded up and taken to a warehouse that turns them into these general goods.
You know what? That's
Smart.
that's pretty clever
Yeah.
too.
So it means that, yes, I am just running general goods here and there, but you can tell which is which, and you can't just cheat and take the general goods out of the pulp mill and bring them up here. And of course, the person that would be cheating is me, so I'm really just preventing myself from doing any shenanigans, which I feel like is maybe kind of arbitrary. But at least it looks like it makes more sense in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that. I like that more than my crazy idea.
Your crazy idea is pretty good, though.
So
The issue with your idea is that there aren't that many kinds of commodities to choose from, even on the DLS. My current issue is that there are industries over in Mason Valley that produce all sorts of really interesting and cool commodities, and sometimes consume them too. There are commodities that Dave Snow uses, and they're things like paint, or appliances, like specific appliances, like microwaves, or, that sort of thing, or clothes, or, these kind of things. These are actually fairly specific commodities, and I don't have any cars that carry them.
Yeah.
You can always add them to a box. But if you modify it, then
Exactly. So there's
And
my
also-
dilemma. I need somebody to
also, if you
reskin
modify
cars
it,
for
it's
me
not-
that can be re-put up on the DLS with those new commodities in them. And I now have, thanks to some recent downloads, I now have cars that will carry those commodities. So all I need to do is find a boxcar that can be reskinned, find a person willing to do it for me,
Dave's
and steal the code from the other boxcars and transplant it into the ones that are getting reskinned, so that they'll have the same commodities. And that means they'll be able to interface with those factories. Which
well, any Dave Snow thing you can, for the most part, re-upload
yeah, but that's
as long as you get permission.
yeah, and so I'm gonna have to do that kind of thing. I mean, I have
Who's the
people
one
that,
that died?
that do some reskinning.
Ben
Yeah, Ben Dorsey died.
Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, Ben Dorsey.
Bridge Scott.
Yeah, Bridge God. I miss him already.
I got Ben Dorsey and Dave Snow mixed up.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to confuse.
Yeah,
me.
well, they were
Ben Dorsey's SDs kind of
Yeah.
got to him.
Yeah. Oof.
they were two big names.
Well, they were both older and they did a lot of channels. That was cool.
Yeah. I have so many bridges, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say. So I found out there's a bug in Tane. I don't know how.
Oh no,
but
a bug in
supposedly
Tane?
You only can have. Well, you're only. So I'm letting you know as a heads up. Apparently, the game will act up if you have more than 19. I don't know how many currently.
More than 19 what now?
Locomotives, or I guess engineers, maybe.
First of all, lol. Second of all, hold on. Let's do a count.
I'm pretty sure you have, but I wasn't.
Okay. This guy's not doing... I'll only count the ones that are programmed to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Okay, well,
23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
You have 27 trains, Zach?
I have 27 trains
Oh
that are
my
actually
God,
programmed
okay.
to do things.
We interrupt.
well then I guess.
We
Yeah,
interrupt
no.
our important broadcast this evening for counting.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Ah.
3. Oh, ow, that was loud.
It doesn't like your counting.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen this, like, seriously vintage meme, which is the count censored?
I think.
My internet hates me.
It is from a long, long time ago. Somebody brought it up on Reddit, and I was like, oh, this thing.
Yeah. Now I think that
Okay, so Lionhead is coming along.
it's an old meme, sir.
It is
but-
a really old meme, but it checks out.
Yeah.
Remember what I said about white picket?
What'd you say?
This place would have white picket fence.
No. This place, the foreman doesn't care about the white picket fences.
Maybe they crappy wooden picket fences.
Maybe I can
Is
have
it
some crappy picket.
Are you going for a look?
What was that?
You're going for a run.
Yeah, I'm going for the depressed coal mining town look, or at least the workers are depressed because they don't get paid enough to friggin' do anything. Although, I mean,
Go
this is
kill
the
themselves
50s.
in
It
the
wouldn't be as bad. I'm acting like it's 1920, something. But
Yeah.
Also, not everybody would.
not everybody would what now?
Not everybody would have a car in this town.
No, in fact, it's pretty much set up so nobody has a car.
They all walk.
They all walk. I mean, you walk from here to work, and if you really need to get somewhere, you take the train.
Yeah, seriously. And, like, everybody seriously is, like, just walks down the street together in a group to go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
I
no
mean,
one
here's
has a
your,
car,
here's
what's
your
with the
road to get on the
Dude,
highway.
just put a bunch of N people there.
Yeah. Striking.
What's the big red dot for?
That's
The big
for
red
Lionhead.
dot was, this is the highest point on the line when I was planning it. So, that's why I have a big red dot. I can probably get rid of it now, but I'll just paint it over with actual texture sooner or later. It was, I was looking at the whole map before I even had, like, any terrain. It was just blank tiles. And I went, okay, so we're probably going to hit our maximum height about here. And that's what I was shooting for. And then I got up here, and boy, did I was really thinking, right? I got up here, I don't know what induced me to build this, but I was like, yeah, here we are, I'll build a Y here. I mean, you can probably go back and find the exact moment where I made the decision to do that. That's the nice thing about having everything recorded,
Yeah.
is that you can see my bad ideas unfold over the course of the last 2 years.
But then you get to see all your good.
Yeah, my good ideas, like when I took a week off. For
Hey,
sure.
honestly, you need to take breaks on.
I mean, I do, but to be completely honest, I only do this 2 hours a week. It's really not that much time. If I wanted
if I stuck to it, look what I could accomplish.
I mean, this is what I've been trying to, this is what I preach on this show. This, if you have the drive, if you have the motivation, you can sit down and you can do this. You can make this too. Nothing I'm doing here, aside from some of the AI stuff, which I talked about a lot last episode, is really super advanced. Even the AI stuff is, once you know how the AI rolls, you know how to play its game. It's really not complicated. It can be frustrating, definitely, time-consuming sometimes, but ultimately it doesn't take too much. What is that noise?
Yeah, what was that noise? It sounded horrifying.
The most critical thinking it takes is when you're doing something really difficult, like a switching puzzle, and you need to think ahead.
Yeah.
You need to think, okay, what is going to happen during the course of this, because you don't get to watch the AI do it and program it, because I'm not in 2019. But you do have, you have like your one run through.
Yeah.
And then there's times where you have to wait hours for the.
Yep.
Yup. I have that. I do that all the time. That's my life.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, I think in developer options you can speed up the simulation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do that.
Well, if I can do that, I should play with it. But honestly, I'm pretty used to it at this point, because what I can do is I found this handy dandy little rule. This one.
Pause that time.
Trigger check. What trigger check does is it waits until something happens, like a train enters the Olive VMR diesel storage, in this case being those 5 alcos on the trailer on Flatcar Train, and that will set the camera to something, but it will also pop up a message. This is the most important part, because the message pod pops up and pauses the game for me. So, I can literally go to work and come home, and the game will be paused, waiting for me, right where I wanted it, to, right where the trouble spot begins, or whatever, right where the new programming starts.
Wow,
That's actually... That's almost perfect, really.
It's going to become more and more important the later I get into session making. Because right now the latest thing happens at maybe 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. The session starts at 6 o'clock, so that's still 4 hours in, but that's still something that I can do, I can put it on in the morning, and then do some chores, and then run an errand, and then come back, and it's ready.
yeah.
Or even I can put it on, and then sit down and watch a movie with Madison, and then, eat dinner, and then it's done. So, or eat a meal, I guess. Not necessarily dinner. Don't want to be what's the word, discriminatory around here. So, mealist is the word I'm looking for. Don't want to be mealist. I might be having second breakfast or 11s. So, yeah, it's something that's doable in the span of a day. And even if I dedicate a lot of time to it, or at least have a lot of free time, I can run it twice. The only problem is it takes up the computer while I'm doing it, so I can't really use the computer. It means that at the end of the day, I can get a couple of runs in at least, assuming nothing goes wrong before before the trouble spot. There have been incidents where I'll have how you can have the little message window open that'll tell you, such and such uncoupled from so-and-so. Or,
Yeah.
This dude's stuck, and needs further instructions.
Waiting for access to junction.
Yeah, exactly. You can have that. That's something that I will turn on, and I'll just sort of keep a side eye on, just something came up, what is that? Usually, even if it's something like, so-and-so is stuck, it's just, they're momentarily stuck because they're being blocked by another train, and it's okay that they're stuck. But if it's such and such derailed, oh god, what now?
Why did you derail? Why did you derail?
There have been a couple of incidents where I don't know what happened.
Are there actually derailments in 2019, or is it still just it pops off the track?
I'll be right back.
It,
Pops off another night.
it's still that.
Womp womp.
I think.
So, there have been 2 incidents recently with trains derailing for literally no reason, and one of them I managed to witness. And the one I managed to witness was there is a locomotive with a couple of cars backing down to its train, and it, instead of coupling, clips through the first 3 cars, and then everything derails.
Oh.
The
What?
other one that I did not witness, I don't know how it happened, was just I found a trolley in the mountains.
What?
How does that
A
work?
significant distance from any track.
Dude, it got ejected from the main truck.
I was just scrolling around, like I knew something was derailed, but of course I've got a million AI, as you guys already know. So when it says, like, Tony is derailed, I'm like, which one are you?
Who's Tony?
Yeah.
My dad.
And so I'm looking around, and then I see the little red sliver, like, up here. Which is, half a tile away from the tram track. And I'm like, alright.
How did you get here?
And I zoom in and I can't find it. It's just allegedly there. But it's definitely gone. It's definitely not on the track. So I just decide, well, I guess we'll restart the session and see if it happens again. And it never happened again. So I really have no idea what causes these things sometimes. But it's just Tane giving up and saying, yeah, nope, you're not doing that today. And we're going to fling your AI across the map. So, yeah, there's no explanation. There's no, like, reasonable reason why that happened. It's just something that happened. And I'm going to squeeze this in here. Because, yes, the grass is overlapping, but all of this is going to have grass overlapping as soon as I go and get the right grass. I need some water. Hold on a second. I'm going to drink this. Okay, let's go get the right grass. The nice thing about having a fairly limited palette of stuff that you use is that you always know that you can grab what you want just down the road.
Yeah.
That is something that I'm a huge advocate for. Something that will, in general, keep you from going completely nuts when you have a huge mega project like this, is to keep your palette of stuff relatively limited.
Yeah.
Like,
Also keeps the amount of assets in the main file, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that helps. It definitely helps. This is not the right grass.
I would do that. I like to use the same grass over the...
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it helps. It's good. It's better than having a million different kinds of grass. I mean, it's worth looking through the list every once in a while to find something new. But on the whole...
Wait, do you use...
Do I use what?
Do you use a pick list?
No, because I make them and then forget I have them.
I only put like...
If I find a really cool ass shader, fine.
I have
Well, you
made...
can have more than one pick list.
I have,
yeah.
like,
I
a
just
bunch of pick
use-
lists. I have so many pick lists. I don't remember what is useful in any of these, or why I made them. I just...
Oh, I have my scenery. One's modern free. One's cars. This is for water features. This is bridges, yard. I
just use the content search filter what I'm looking for, and usually something close shows
Yeah,
up.
anybody that has
true.
watched me make Under Construction for a long time, or has watched a lot of Under Construction episodes, know that I'm infuriating in the fact that my content search filter is called scrolling through the entire list and looking for something I want. I just will sit in the buildings menu and go, no, not that. Scroll, scroll, scroll. How about this? No, not that. Scroll, scroll,
Yeah,
scroll, scroll.
yeah.
I'll be like clicking on things that I definitely don't want. I'll be like clicking through a list of cars when I'm looking for a house.
Sometimes you just like click on it just to see what the hell it is. You're like, what is this? I didn't even know this existed.
I mean, hold on, let's see. I know what this town needs to spruce it up. Hold on, I got this. Oh wait. There we are. Bam. You know what I need to do? I need to have an actual just friggin' giant blue pushpin out in the world explained as a tourist trap. Those,
Yes, do it.
You know, those were, I wouldn't say all the rage, but stuff like that, little roadside stuff, was absolutely fairly common. Maybe not in this age, but it would be given another 20 years. Just the random roadside America stuff. Because it's the age of the era of the automobile has begun, but the era of the family road trip has not yet begun. It is about to begin.
The family road trip.
Mm-hmm. The era of National Lampoons.
National Lampoon's Christmas memes.
National Lampoon's Big Fat Greek Wedding. Wait.
National Lampoon.
Trains 2019 is the only thing on my wish list. So when I get that, an item on your wish list is on
You
email,
know.
I'm gonna be super excited.
I was super excited.
Soon, TM. It will be.
I had a moment yesterday where I'm sure Madison rolled the hell out of her eyes, but we were in here watching the football game. I forgot that the game came on at 8:20. I left work at 9 o'clock because I was handing out surveys down in Wickford Junction with the conductors, and the Buddy Bars, which are like chocolate. They look like, like the wafers you can get.
Yeah.
Like Nilla wafers or something?
Not like Nilla wafers, but like
the crisp wafers.
Yeah, those. They look like that, but like peanut butter chocolate version of that is what it looked like to me.
Ooh.
I didn't really inquire as to what they were. Because I'm sure
good.
It would
I
have.
like the strawberry ones.
I'm sure he would have just been like, "It's Buddy Bars," and so I come in. We sit. We're in the middle of like an important discussion. Madison and I are talking about like how to reorganize upstairs so we have room for stuff. We're getting a new dining room table, and so we need to figure out what to do with our current table until Christmas comes around. At which point it's gonna become the kids' table because it's smaller. Like, it's a neat table, but it's too small to hold the Temelio family. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we're getting this other table, and like halfway through the conversation, she mentions that the Patriots are on tonight. Or no, actually, she looks at her phone, and she's like, "Oh, Tom Brady's doing really well," because she has Tom Brady on her fantasy team. And I was like, "Hold on, the game's on?"
Lucky.
And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, what are we doing in here?" And I walk in the other room and immediately put the game on, and we sit down to continue the conversation. There is a fumble recovery. Guy runs it back for a touchdown.
Beautiful.
The refs do not think it is a touchdown at first glance. The guy gets knocked out of bounds, or at least he looks like it, but he's sailing through the air, extends his arm, and the football crashes through the pylon. And
is there a clip of it?
I can probably find it. It was one of the defining moments of last night's game. So this was Patriots, or it was Giants.
It'll probably be all over the subreddit.
Giants at Patriots. They used to do like weekly gift threads, and I'm not sure if they do that anymore, but it would definitely be in there. So, this is a lot of. Hello, we're doing under construction. This is a lot of build-up for a relatively underwhelming end, but it was a fantastic play. It was amazing. The guy made it back, got knocked out of bounds, was sailing through the air, did not touch the ground, importantly enough, extended his arm out for the touchdown. And she was like, "That's a touchdown?" And I was like, the ball,
as long as the ball stayed in bounds the whole time.
Exactly. I was like, he did not touch the ground. It definitely broke the plane because he demolished the pylon with it. And as long, like, the refs don't think it is right now, but they're going to go to commercial, and they were going to commercial. I said they're going to review it, and absolutely it's going to be a touchdown. And so I walked in the other room to heat up some leftover pasta, and she's like, "Come back in here," because I got this funny commercial to show you, and it was pretty funny. And then the next thing after the commercial is the game comes back on, and they're like, the call on the field has been overturned, and it was a touchdown, and I'm standing in the doorway, and I just sort of lean back and step backwards out of the room going, yes! And I'm in the other room going, I knew it!
I knew it.
I'm glad we were the only people here, otherwise that would have been completely obnoxious. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Who is brushing their teeth?
That would
Trying to
be
file this
Ginger.
car so the coupler has.
Oh. Oh! Okay, that makes sense then. I understand now.
Yeah. So de-stress from a drawing is put couplers and wheels.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my anecdote about football. I just hope I don't get creamed this week because I keep losing in both leagues in fantasy. I am 0-5 in the Horseman League.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm doing... Is Ojuli still
like
here? No, damn it. I was going to make a Lions joke. Never mind, it's not worth it now. So...
Oh boy. Thank you, Jader.
Yeah. What we don't need. Is this
I hear all day, every day.
Oh my god.
Hear more.
I would lose
I
it.
do to an extent too.
It's honestly though, I'm just used to it. But
Go
I just
wacko,
hear
3
it's-
fries short of a Happy Meal.
wacko!
Yeah. Thank you.
Ow! I have to turn you down, Dean. That was really
Oh,
loud.
that wasn't even that loud for me.
Oh,
Okay, so we've done, like, if you could call this downtown. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of the push button. I forgot it was there, and I turned the camera and went, ah!
Oh, there.
Yeah. General Kenobi.
Yeah.
I've kind of been looking at it the whole time.
Yeah, I forgot
Wait,
it was
where's this push button?
I deleted it. It
It's
was in the
gone.
middle of the turntable pit. It was just sticking out of the ground.
Oh,
You should put it along the ocean and just like cover
Yeah.
low enough in water.
Okay, hold on,
so
hold
that
on,
it's
hold on.
submerged.
I know
No,
what you're
I'm
saying.
kidding, you don't have... Put it under the water. You don't have to do this.
Do
Now it is a giant blue traffic cone.
Yeah.
Hold on. You know what? I have something else for this. I think I had this from the Iron Horseman, although I might not have it in this version of Tane. Or in this version of the game.
what red?
No, I had a spotlight thing. I used it for, I think,
I remember you used it in
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
Davenport with the boat.
episode 4 of Season 2, which I was producing at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, and you were killing yourself.
I was going
Yeah.
nuts because there were things in the script that had been written and not, like, considered as to how to accomplish this in trains. And, of course, I only do trains. I can't do Gmod and stuff like that, and I can't do green screening, really. So, I was just like, how do I do this? This episode needs to be out tomorrow. How do I do this? But I managed to get it to work with the spotlight on the fly car, and it didn't look that bad, I thought.
No, what you could,
I'm not going to go
I
back.
mean, considering the circumstances.
what we could do is we could pre-produce the episodes and then just
Yeah, Dean, we tried to do that, and then it
Like-
didn't happen. And here we are.
But
Yeah.
guess what? We can do that after we're done with the.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the schedule is gone at this point. We should be putting them
Yeah.
out as quickly as they're done.
Yeah.
I'm just, hopefully I can, well, it's not going to happen this weekend, damn it. I have an episode ready to be, or an episode, I have a scene ready to be edited. It has everything, it's just not together. And I haven't had the time to do that, as I've been sitting on it for quite a while. And
What's all that invisible track for? Is it just to make straighten some track?
okay, so the reason for the invisible track is the AI really doesn't like to get close to the end of track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I figured as
They'll
much.
pull up really nice and tight to a signal, but they will not pull up close to the end of track. So if I
Yeah.
have if I have the invisible track extending it, especially behind things like roundhouse stalls, that I can get trains to pull all the way in.
And then, so what you do is you put a buffer at the end of the visible track, but right?
Exactly. Sometimes you don't even want to do that. Sometimes you want to make, instead of a buffer, just use like an invisible signal, a little bit past the end of track, a little bit past what would be the end of track. If you really need to get things up close and tight. The biggest place where that comes into play, though, and the place where it's the most problematic because you can't do this little cheap trick with the invisible track, is on turntables. If you're trying to get an engine to pull onto a turntable, and the turntable is not aligned with anything on the other side, it's just a dead end,
Invisible signal.
you better hope that that turntable has got a nice margin for error. And that you are not cutting it close at all, or else you are not going to get that engine on that turntable.
Yeah, AI with turntables is
Well, I'll tell you. Once you know the tricks, and once you have it programmed correctly and set up correctly, and the setup is probably the more difficult part, the programming can just be a little bit of trial and error. Once you have it programmed and set up correctly, the AI will use turntables fairly easily, especially if you're playing your cards right. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So, turntables, like I said, the biggest trouble with them is that if you have a turntable rotated to a position where one end is a dead end, where it does not have a spline connection at that point, it doesn't have a track at that point. That is going to be the source of your biggest issues. Because the train will not pull far onto the turntable. It will avoid doing so. And in fact, I can demonstrate this, or I can at least show an example of this, here in Mason Valley. So this is the roundhouse in Mason Valley that many of you have seen many times before, once it loads in. It has 3 tracks on one side and corresponding tracks on the other, so anything coming out of a stall can go straight across, or at least can attempt to go straight across, and then you can have it stop right on the turntable.
The track marks right there are nice too.
Yeah. So, also I will open this up so you can see the radius on these track marks. This one doesn't matter so much. This is just a preemptive one to have the train come in the right way. The tail and head ones, they are designed to be very small and very close to the end of the turntable because that's what the train is trying to pull up to.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be difficult, or what would be difficult, and I'm probably not ever going to attempt, is if I were to try to bring an engine either onto or off of this track here. The reason being, if you rotate the turntable to this location, the other end is hanging off into space. Unless the engine is very small, it will not get within quite a few meters of the end of the turntable. So it will pull maybe to about here.
So the smaller engines have more problems?
The smaller engines will do better because they have more room.
There's going to be more room on the turntable.
So if you
if you try and pull like a Mikado one.
Yeah, if you have, let's use one of these as an example because these guys barely make it.
Oh, 080.
Yeah. So there is one of those in there.
That's a tight squeeze.
For these guys, if you are using this turntable, what you're going to want to do is not send them to this track mark, but send them to this track mark.
Yeah, the track mark on the outside.
At a slow speed, they'll be very careful, and they'll pull up to right about here, at the edge of the track mark's radius.
Yeah.
However...
Oh my god, that's genius.
If the turntable was hanging off into empty space, as if it was rotated 2 positions to the left,
your tender's
to the right,
going to derail. Your tender's coming.
Well, no? the train would only pull up, the engine would only pull up to about here if you're lucky, and you have an invisible signal. If it doesn't have an invisible signal, it probably wouldn't pull towards the turntable at all, because it's an end of track.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd maybe get it to here, and then you'd lose your you're tender if you're particularly unlucky. Although right now, I think you'd be able to make it. Can't answer that. But it probably wouldn't get that close. It'd probably get about that close. So, if I want to put something on there, I would probably need something like a 44 tonner. And
you need
I would
like a little diesel.
have a much... I would have even
like
more trouble getting something out of there. So...
Yeah, getting out... I was thinking about that. That's going to be the hard... You would need like a tank engine.
Same thing with this track. So basically, these tracks are fairly unusable to me. What I would probably do is put maybe a piece of maintenance away equipment there that I'm never going to touch during a session. However, once you know what to do, a turntable like this is actually a fairly easy one to deal with. I'll say that much because you've got your main 3 and your main 3 lined up with one another. This is a fairly easy turntable to deal with.
Yeah.
The train in question is not at this station, it's at the other station. But this is the farthest that I've come with turntables so far. The train here, that is about to load in, is the local that runs between, or it's what is called the Valley train. It runs between Mason's Landing and Mason Valley on a fairly regular schedule once every couple of hours. Well, maybe once every hour in the morning.
The cars.
So here's your SP Atlantic and a couple of coaches and a baggage car. What do you say? What are you excited about? GBA. Sounded like you were excited about something. Anyway,
I was excited about the
uh-oh, you're breaking up. I don't know what you're saying, but I assume you're...
He said that he was excited about the...
Wow, that is really unfortunate that it broke up at the word after the every single time. Just
Wow.
give up. I'm sure it's
Nice.
whatever. Was it these guys? The covered hoppers that are detailed for Gilson Eastern.
No, the cars for dairy.
Okay, the dairy cars, yeah. I need to use
Yeah.
those. Anyway, so this train comes into here, you'll notice that the engine's already on the wrong end. The baggage car's on the other end.
yes.
So this train waits for the first train to come in, which is sitting over there. Well, first things first, it backs into the station. It waits for the other train to come in, waits a couple of minutes, and then departs. It will head all the way up, and what will happen when it gets there is, it'll pull into the station, the engine will come off, the engine will go to the turntable, turn itself around, and then get back on the other end of the train, wait a couple minutes, and then head back here. Once it gets back here, it pulls into the station, unloads all the passengers. Now notice this is a stub track. It pulls in the station, unloads all the passengers, and then backs the train out, pulls onto one of these freight tracks, gets off, the engine pulls off, the engine runs by the engine house onto the turntable. Now notice the interesting track arrangement at the turntable here. The reason, initially these two went to this, and this one went to this. This is a more annoying turntable to deal with. I had to make this connection here, because if the turntable is aligned in this direction, because it has no end over here, it's much harder to get a locomotive onto the turntable. And I would have to do some shenanigans, which I will show you the full depth of turntable shenanigans once I'm done with this part. Because I'll show you the hardest turntable to program so far. And it was also the first one. So, I'm basically only using this track to get in and out. Because I know that this track, I can send the engine to this track mark, just like in Mason Valley. The engine will pull all the way into the turntable, more or less. Turntable will spin it around, and it'll head back out. Simple as that. And it'll do the same thing every time it comes through. And then it'll get back on its train, run it back in, and it'll look just like this right here. So, let's hurt our computer a little bit, or hurt my computer, I
Oh
guess,
wow.
and take a visit to Olive. And I will show you the worst of these, since we're on the subject of turntables. So, the Olive turntable is the first one that I programmed. It's also the most annoying one that I have, by a margin. If you'll notice, even though it isn't loaded in yet, you have one entrance on the left side and 7 tracks. And an unfortunately tiny turntable bridge. So, these,
Worry about a lot of height. You might have some height issues.
height issues, but length issues, really.
Oh yeah.
So, one of the engines in here,
really only use one.
once it wants to load in, the engines in here comprise of I believe a GP9, a GP7, a PRR H10 consolidation, a mogul lead, and I think a like a SW something. So there's one of the Jeeps, there's our consolidation, there's another one of the Jeeps, here's our switcher, which is an NW2.
It's like a.
And there's our mogul. In this
Dude,
cell.
that thing would be fun to have on the ranch. To run it on the grid.
Yeah, the NW2 just works the yard mostly. So this guy is our longest engine by far, or by a little bit at least.
That consolidation.
The consolidation. If I put him in any other stall, he cannot leave the roundhouse. He will not pull.
He just gets to.
He will not pull far enough along the turntable. He has to have a straight route out.
But what if you just make the team do?
If I could make trains do that and then make the tender magically go back to it, I totally would. Maybe.
Strong man.
Unfortunately, if I'm not careful,
No, I'm just gonna shop it.
if I'm not careful, the turntable will disconnect the tender for me.
Oh,
That's why he has to be in the middle stalls. So everybody else is able to pull onto the turntable. Now you notice, in order to get trains to pull onto the turntable, they need to be pulling into a signal. However,
Yeah.
if they are pulling into a red signal, they will still probably give it some room. So I have 2 signals here. One
So
which will
that
be
one
red,
acts like a yellow.
and the next which will be yellow, the closer one. And, of course, there's your obligatory track mark for the trains to drive to. So, the track mark is just far enough on the table that I can get the other engines off and on. But this is, like I said, hands down the worst one. It's a son of a gun. And sometimes there are other problems with the trains will want to get off, but the signal won't turn green. It'll stay red as if it's pointing at a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
It's
this is all well and good, but the stream isn't working for me, so it's just the spinning circle.
Working for me.
well, that's a shame. I mean, I'm stressing my computer the hell out. So let's get back to Lionhead. I
think it's just my shitty Wi-Fi.
And let's get back to work. So, that's turntables. Like I've said, I intend to do a couple of streams where I dick around on Tolbrand or even on Jader's map, the Mattapoisett, where I...
Fuck. See, I still gotta mess with that.
Jader, are you in 2019?
Yeah, and I actually have a good graphics card now that can handle shit.
Hey.
I still haven't tried it with Tolbrand yet, because I had time to just let it down.
The Mattapoisett was Jader's
I'm getting
last.
2019 when it goes on sale.
The main problem is my CPU.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
It doesn't really like it. But other than that, I can run 19 at high settings. Hell, I can run it at max settings, and it performs pretty well.
That's good
High
to hear.
settings, yeah, high settings is better. Like better balance and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on like medium low, but I'm A, in Tane, and B, I am staring down the barrel of this
Death.
map.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
Yep.
I take a look at Tolbrand.
I take a look to my right and realize it's Tolbrand.
Yep.
Tolbrand.
And also, it's the Valley
Shia LaBeouf.
of Death. The fire is from my computer. So,
I cannot wait for 2019. I'm really excited. I'm not playing with Tane yet because I don't want to.
you don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
You want to
don't-
build up the hype.
Build
Yeah.
this.
If you can.
The only time I'm gonna have to touch Tane is to get my payware, like all my K&L and stuff like
See,
that.
that's why
And then you
I.
can kill it.
That's why I
To the
made sure
extraction
that
zone.
I just had.
Sex.
Like, no, I kept copies of all my CDPs. I have
I'm gonna.
everything.
I should have done that. I should have.
And I keep them on a different hard drive than the actual install. So if I were to lose everything, if I were to have a hard drive crash, I don't lose everything.
Okay. Does Steve Laro? What is his username? I'm gonna.
Probably Steve Larry.
Yeah.
I think it is Steve Laro.
Yeah.
Or is it like K&L or whatever?
No, I think the trip is just
Yeah, it's just Steve Laro.
Authors.
It's called The Real MVP. That's his username.
yeah.
The legend.
The legend.
And I want install.
So,
Where the fuck is the Let's Say Steve
Okay.
this thing?
Wow, that's quite the list.
Yeah.
yeah.
Stop.
Modified missing dependencies.
Oof.
List dependencies. What's this?
Ooh.
Fuck.
So I'm not sure what to do with this hill
9-8.
exactly. I guess I'm going to leave it completely cleared. I need to put a nice big house on top of it, that's for sure.
The old
Milky,
haunted house
do
on
you have
top
this
of the
queued?
hill.
I'll check.
Thanks.
What is this?
Can't believe I'm doing this again.
This is an interesting one.
You have this.
D&M Pump House. Well, that's neat. Oh, here we go with this again, by the way.
Do I not
I have
have a
curve
goddamn
left
screen?
and curve right signs.
Modified obsolete. That's the only thing missing dependencies.
Do I
Thank
not
God.
have a
I do
screen
not.
in this goddamn thing?
Okay. Hey, Jader, can you do me a...
I
oh,
might
wait,
be
you're
able
not
to
on
find it after the show.
Ooh.
What is it
Okay.
for? What are you missing
it.
dependencies?
It is for the CN09A.
Oh, you know what? I probably do have whatever dependency that is.
Okay. I'll
Before
send it to you.
anybody gets concerned, TBA did buy all his payware legit. We're not helping him pirate K&L.
Buy K&L bond.
Buy K&L bonds.
K&L bonds.
And
I
no,
still-
but seriously, buy K&L.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Support
You just
Steve
reminded
Laro.
me of a project I have sitting on my workbench. at
You know
home.
what I should commission?
What?
What?
Granite Rock 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to
I
wait a
would
couple
love to see
years,
that.
but
Yeah.
Laro, please.
And he could make it into a generic S100. That would probably sell.
what the heck is that?
Yeah, because, well, I mean, it's a good Switch engine. I'd use it all over the place.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, and that might. What if he even came out here for like sound recordings? Ooh, that
That'd be neat.
I'd get to go meet
You'd
Laro.
be like, oh, it's Steve Laro!
Also, I just realized that
hey,
I
you
don't.
remember me? I've given you several $100.
Be like, oh, you're one of those weirdos.
I have literally everything on your website because of content.
I just realized I need Gabe for Lionhead recording. Or for recording Lionhead.
Yep.
I'm buying them.
Yep, do it. For the record, anybody who is building a route, TBA, or planning to build a route in the near future, these are a absolute necessary pickup from the download station. I still can't answer that.
I still have them sitting in a bag somewhere. But I bought a bunch of I think a 3 or 4 pack of Burma shave signs from the hobby shop.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I still need to set them up. So.
but I need no.
Free, a trip to Mars for 900 empty jars. Burma shave.
It's the deal of the week.
Burma
Deal of
shave.
the week still.
The deal of the week is everything on the website.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna download all this. I was gonna export all this to a CDP because
It's more like deal of like the year. 'Cause it's been
Yeah,
out
it's been
for
going
quite
on a
some
while.
time.
I'm not about to complain though.
Yeah, but unless Lero lives in some world where a week is this long,
Listen, Dean, shut up, or he might end it.
Man.
I want my discounts. I want them.
I mean, that's
I want to play
fine.
with 1218. Oh, I found it. I want to play.
Happy dragon noises.
Happy chance.
Go download the F7 again and go play with yourself.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Hey, phrasing.
I'll take phrase to 500, Alex.
Oh
Phrasing
my
for
God.
2,000.
Not stonks.
I think I'm gonna have like a little bit of trees over here, so I don't want to go crazy with this
I
crappy
can-
grass.
I want 20.
Speaking of sales, JR's and Reggie's train.
I want.
Oh, no.
2019.
But I was
That's still-
enjoying the freeware.
They haven't put out freeware in quite some
What if
But
this goes
I
on sale
was
next week?
enjoying it.
Ooh, Eagle River.
Eagle River's the good shit.
Eagle River is good, but expensive.
I'm not giving them out.
You just described everything on Jointed Rail's website.
Yeah.
Well, not everything. Some things are good, like the D-Back. That's
Everything is good. It's just expensive.
DBs.
I mean, the P&B. That's free.
Yeah, it
So
is,
they didn't
but
put out freeware.
that's not that like
Checkmate.
right? Or am I being stupid?
He made custom engines for it, but you don't have to purchase.
Mhm.
It's real estate.
True, really.
Buying freeware to own.
That's very real estate.
I just need
Okay,
to figure
for a
out.
minute I thought Jason's picture was the free real estate guy.
I'll check when I get home. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't it?
Alternatively, I'll find you the asset right now. I'm
Well,
finding.
I might find the asset later.
Oh, Milk. He's buying.
Yeah,
I'm
Milky's, Milky's
buying
literally in the
evenly.
process of purchasing it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I don't have.
Milky's the real MVP.
I'm gonna go.
He's
I
buying
need
it
this
for
for the
you.
Listening Chronicle.
Big dick hours.
Thank you, Milky. I appreciate
There's
it.
so much like this K&L things that I don't have yet that I should probably purchase. I don't have the FG1 yet.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit! I don't have West.
Oh
The
yeah,
FG1 is
Them too.
Oh yeah, the forbidden
the
standards.
the forbidden standards.
I mean, it's the closest I'm going to get to a Q2, so I can't complain.
Did I? Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Oh, I did. I did get Westy. I wasn't sure if I got Westy, but of course I did. I had to get Westy.
I like this Westy. Westy might be over here.
Intensive.
Dynamo intensifies. Yeah, it was loud. Sorry.
Yeah. Fine.
It's okay.
Oh, the Hiawatha 8.
Oh, I don't think I have that either. Wait, let's find out.
There's a lot of KNL shit.
Nope. I don't think I have that. I should have
Yeah,
gotten
no,
it,
I know.
but I didn't get it. Also, for
It-
whatever
it's-
reason, the Zion Skyline Allegheny is working now, but the tender is broken.
Huh. That's weird.
And the
Okay, well-
2882 is working again, for some reason.
Or making there.
Westy
I
Gilby,
don't-
my
I have
boy.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't want it. Yeah, you're right.
I kind of want it.
What?
Iowa.
The Alberto bath.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want
in
it
the Commodore Vanderbilt?
because I mean, even if it's
It
just
probably
for the
comes
coaches,
with nice coaches.
yeah, even if it's just for the coaches, we could totally use those in the Horsemen.
Oh yeah, of course, because
Blue liner.
Even though
That's
they're
why
more.
that's the only reason I want Steve to do the 844s for the passenger coaches.
Yeah.
It's like,
We really don't have a good set of UP coaches.
Yeah.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
something I hadn't considered. I
Or
was
actually. Hold,
Well, no.
hold up.
we have the ones from Train Sports, but they're not the modern ones.
And they kind of suck.
I like them. They're better than what we had.
They're not much.
Not saying we had a lot.
Oh, I mean, we didn't.
At least we have a quality fief.
yeah. I mean, we have
Yeah.
like a couple of quality fiefs, don't we? Or am I
Yeah.
just thinking of 844s again? 'Cause
I
we have
haven't
so
even
many
looked at the
844s.
KNL page in a while.
There's a lot of
How
quality
bad
kids.
is
You know what?
I like that.
Some subjects do this. You would change.
Are you also buying the Hiawatha?
Yep.
Mookie, save money for the Cats 2020 trip.
Oh, my bank account says I got money for that.
Okay, good.
Payway?
my,
You
my
should
bank
drive your
account
El
is not
Camino.
upset.
Newest release.
So, before the cat's me out, Ellis, are you still driving cross country?
Hell yeah, if I can.
Oh my God! He released a Doodlebug. I didn't.
He
hear
did
about
release the
this.
Doodlebug. It's
I
exciting.
wonder who commissioned it.
It could be you.
Uh,
It could be me.
it could be any one of us.
Anyone? Ew, there's a Camelback.
But it was Chris.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't
Chris commissioned that?
Yeah, he did.
Chris commissioned the Doodlebug.
Wow.
Now the question is, where do you get the money for that? No.
Prostitution.
Thinking emoji. No.
What is?
I need to ask him how much
this
that was
GT
actually.
Truck
I want to know how much it is.
Q3B.
for the K&L.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get the Grand Trunk Q3B because
Big gang.
I'm happy.
but the
I'm happy
CNX
with.
10A
Yeah.
looks really fun.
It is.
The,
Which one is the
you
X10A?
need
Oh yeah, right. No, I need to get that. I forgot. I need to get that.
Yeah.
TB8. No,
This-
you need
This UP Mikado looks cool.
you need the U3B in your life.
I need. No, you know what I need? I need an X10A in my life, but the real one.
Yeah.
I actually. So
Well, you could probably buy it for the price of books or one.
yeah, right. Hey, Steamtown, I got you $1.
Yeah.
So I can't remember a while back. Somebody was looking at. I mean, there were some Canadians that were looking at bringing 2929 back to Canada,
me?
and thus back into service by extension. There were people that were looking at 47 and bringing that back into service, like purchasing it from Steamtown and then restoring it. That didn't go anywhere.
How are we for time?
We've got about 10 minutes left. I'm trying to find a mansion.
Dude,
And
use
which one?
use the courthouse.
I'm not going to use the
Prob-
courthouse.
Aw.
We should probably get the comments too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do have 2 comments. The first one was from Brady Cure. He says, have not watched Under Construction in a month, but I'm back. Oof. I don't know why he said
Welcome
oof
back.
instead of woo. But, I mean, is it oof because you have to catch up on a month's worth of Under Construction? I mean, you just put it on, you listen to...
I like to put it on in the background and just like glance over when.
You go to work, you put one on, and then you put the next one on, and then you put the next one on, and then you put the
Hey,
next
then,
one on.
then it's time to go home.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get 4 episodes of work in a day.
Exactly.
4
Yeah.
episodes
Four
of Under
episodes.
Construction
If
while at work. Sorry.
If I made Under Construction with the frequency and amount of time that I spend at work, oh boy, how much further would we be? I'd also be really burned out, but, you know,
Tolburn would be fucking done by now.
yeah, right.
Don't kid yourself.
Every time I glance at the map of Tolbrin, it gets worse.
You kind of cut out. It gets what?
It gets
It
worse.
doesn't get worse. It gets better because you get that much closer to being done.
Well, no, but like
That's me.
the drawn map, the one where I'm doing the details and adding in the branch lines
and where you're only when you realize that you're still on the first stretch of.
Oh yeah. No, I don't like that feeling. I really don't. But it's getting done slowly.
I have the same.
Mansion.
I have the same freaking feeling every time I look at
But it's been
Mega Map.
it's crazy. I remember watching the first episode of this, and then now we're here on the 107th.
Holy crap!
Wow!
White Pass and Yukon Skagway Courthouse.
Hey.
Now that's a mansion.
Now
Yeah.
that looks awesome. Is it?
Yellow.
Can you use it?
Yes, I can.
you-
It is Ben Dorsey, isn't it?
Indoors. Yep.
That's awesome.
Bruh, this guy owns the town.
Yeah.
The king.
This guy, yeah, he is the king, the Burger King. Hold on. Oh, and Madison's here as well. That's right. We're doing a public under construction, semi-public.
M scale.
Okay,
No,
one more
don't do
time,
this. Don't do this. It doesn't have to be this way. At least Wendy's or something.
I didn't even know I had a
No,
McDonald's flag, but now that I have it, now that I know I have it,
Yeah.
First off, why is there a McDonald's flag?
why not? Why wouldn't there be a McDonald's flag?
I've seen a McDonald's flag.
Bruh.
I mean, I
Wendy's.
hope we all have seen one.
Yeah.
I, pretend I haven't seen one, and then, go to the gym. Okay. I need
We'll see
to
with
flatten out the
McDonald's, you go to
land
the
underneath this
hospital.
house, because, Jesus Christ, it's not flat at all. I knew it was going to be it was definitely
Big
right to
stone-
predict that it was going to be a courthouse that made this mansion, but
Yeah.
I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
It does look incredibly cool.
I kind of feel like it should be off more the end.
It should be, but here's what I'm gonna do instead. Right? Leave this here. I'm gonna maybe taper the road back just a little bit, and I'm gonna go looking for one other thing before we end the episode. And we have one more comment as well. So the comment is, Tristan's channel says, might I suggest the company house or railroad house on the DLS? I can't remember the exact names, but I believe those are close. I believe they might
look,
be
he's
what
getting
you
past.
were looking for in Lionhead. And I agree, I should have looked them up ahead of time, but I didn't look at the comment until we were about to start, so I didn't have time to download stuff. I will look into them for future, but I'm happy with what we got right now.
I think Dave Snow has the railroad. So, but I completely forgot about it until
Is
now.
that a curse?
Might be.
You just fucking. See, it's all the mechanics.
I wanted a carriage house.
There should be a hearse out here,
Maybe a stable.
actually. Ooh, is there a graveyard in Lion's Head? I feel there should be.
Oh, you're
a
right.
nice
We need
one.
both a graveyard and a we need both a graveyard and a church. We don't have either of those.
Huh. I just realized I've never built a graveyard.
Is
to
there a
do so.
I
library?
almost always put the two together.
A small library might.
I mean, we can say this thing is like the library or the town hall or something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like a.
Yeah. That red building can
Yeah.
definitely pass. I like.
Okay, what do I want? Church.
Remember when I made that house that was on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's a
The,
Rollins Pass stuff. I can't use Rollins Pass stuff.
I think that was the Hazel Northeastern.
Yep.
God, I remember
Those
that.
were the days.
Go wild.
That was a mess. It could have been better.
This thing is so white.
Dude, it looks like.
This thing is so white
Jesus
that
Christ.
Graham's gonna have to put on sunglasses.
It
Ooh.
literally is like kind of.
Oh wait, Graham isn't even here. Damn it.
No.
It's wasted. Another one wasted.
Write that down.
Alrighty.
Oh crap.
Well,
You know what? I think I'm just gonna sink this into the ground a little bit instead of putting it in like a ditch. There we go. Bring it forward. Okay, neat. So we have actually made a significant amount of progress. I just need to remember to put a little graveyard up there. And yeah, we're pretty good. Sorry,
I like it.
TB, how you miss tender?
that's the effing tender.
Yeah, that's the cutest.
Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah.
No, the
Thank you.
tender is sold separately.
That'll be $5.
K&L has been purchased by EA.
Yeah.
E.
EA Sports
It's in
or
the game.
EA Trains. It's in the yard.
It's in the yard.
It's in the roundhouse.
It's in the shop.
It's in the shop.
Get it? Because
Oh, speaking of buildings, I forgot. There's a bunch of new buildings that have been uploaded on the DLS by I think the Carson, Colorado stuff. I think that's
Ooh,
all on
gimme,
the
gimme,
DLS.
Car shop.
Gimme.
I love that
Yeah,
guy.
Carson.
Nice.
So all the old buildings are up on just search CO and it'll pop up.
I need it.
I
I figured there's probably like 100. So good.
Is he cutting out for anybody else, or is it just me?
Oh, he was going to.
Well, yeah, I figured it would. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so this is where we are. Lionhead just went from a jumbled assemblage of buildings and some tracks and roads to a pretty good-looking town in one episode.
So much for it being run down.
I mean,
it looks really nice.
it's one of those towns where you look at it and it's like, yeah, it's not too bad. But then, look at the place. It's certainly not living the high life.
It's pretty.
Well, except for that guy.
It's dead.
Because he's the king of fucking the...
Are you gonna go through and add power poles and everything here too?
I might do the power poles. That's something that I kind of forgot about. I need to do that for a couple of places. But
honestly, I would. They'd probably just run through the grass field there, in between the houses, and then.
I'll do the power poles.
No.
Let's see. Where do these go? These poles go to the station building there. This is just the telegraph line for the railroad. Oh yeah, I wasn't certain on how to connect these two things from here to there. So I guess I'll just tie it in.
There we go.
Are you gonna have a power station on the map somewhere?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
It's going to be in the town of, I think it's Clayton? I can't quite recall. But it's along the Zion and Skylines route, so the Zion and Skyline will have plenty of opportunity
Coal trains
to
for that.
run long coal trains down from the mines, and
then
And we'd like to know your location.
does each town might have like a substation?
yeah.
That'll be
These
cool.
aren't for power, these are just for the telegraph or the railroad. But yeah.
Alrighty.
God damn it.
I do
Well, it was
actually
awesome
have.
to
You know
be
what?
on
You
here.
just reminded me. I do actually have. Where is it? You should be able to see it kind of clearly on the map. Yeah, this right here. This slightly off-color strip.
Power line.
Yeah, this is the power lines that run into Olive. And so. Yeah.
It's the large power lines like in Factorio.
Yeah.
Large power
Large
poles.
power poles. I need more power poles.
More power poles. God, we should play that sometime.
So I need to remember that those power lines are going in there because they need to come out somewhere.
Yeah.
Not that anybody else is going to notice, but I am.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I put power on going out the dam on the horseman because the dam power needs to go.
Yeah, it does. So this area is really my next major hurdle. This is the I don't really know what to do with these spaces yet. And I'm thinking most of them I'm probably going to turn into either farmland or pasture or of some kind.
So, yeah, no problem.
My ears just perk up.
Yeah, I know. Well, Jader, that's the thing. The plan for Tolbrand going forward is to finish this section, port it to 2019, fix all the issues that are going to arise with that, because of course they will. And then from there, the next phase is the next 15 miles of Gilson Eastern Main Line going that way, which is going to actually start to curve more inland, and it's going to be running into pretty much exclusively farmland.
Ooh.
With some light rolling hills and 4 tracks cutting through the middle of it.
That literally sounds like home.
Yeah. So, it is the kind of thing where I'm going to be looking to you for inspiration and for Mason for inspiration, and some guidance on how to make that work and how to make it look good.
I'm going to be looking to you for a lot of inspiration.
Well, I appreciate that. There are 107 videos to choose from.
Yeah.
And I could always whip up a stream where we do a little bit more. The other thing is, or the other issue is going to be, as I bring that more inland, the railroad here,
fun.
the BMR, needs to get more inland fast. So, the peninsula is going to begin tapering a lot more sharply, and so I need to pull this in, I need to pull this in, and I need to pull this in. So, there's going to be a sort of shift from the, east, or I guess this is east to west, grid that we're running on right now, to a much more slanted grid as I try to bring all the lines that are heading west farther south. So, for those who don't know, just before we round up this episode, these are the connections that I'm worried about. This one is the narrow gauge railroad connection to basically the rest of the system. This would be a dead end, but there is another line that goes that way, and it's one of the longest branches of the narrow gauge. Or actually, it's by far the longest branch of the narrow gauge. One might even call it the main line, except it came second to everything else. There are these 2 tracks, which I'm going to have to straighten this out a little bit because that's too sharp of a curve. And eventually bring them in, but these 2 don't intersect, so I have to be careful about that. And the same thing with these guys here, which they have the most wiggle room, but I still need to start bringing these 4 tracks more inland, but I need to push the mountains more inland because this is going to be basically out of view of the hills in terms of render distance. It's going to be a trick, but we'll take it one step at a time, and in the next couple chunks, we're going to have 15 miles here, and then the mileage here, and that's going to be another huge one like this, because it's going to come to somewhere over here, and there's going to be a branch line that meets up with the Gilson Eastern. So we're going to be building another large triangle sort of shape.
That was way too much super glue, but that's okay.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week for another Under Construction, probably on my own. But I'd like to thank everyone for coming on this afternoon.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Making this show a little bit more interesting. This is the Admiral, signing off.